I can open it. Now.
Good morning. What a beautiful morning it is. You say good morning, James? No, he's not feeling it. Okay. You want to say good morning? Can you say good morning?
Good morning.
Good job. So, I am so excited with my garden because, you know, I really thought that those tomato plants were a goner. I told my sad story probably a month and a half ago or more. I can't remember how long it's been. But they came back and they are doing wonderfully. And all I can think is I left those hot caps on for another few days after that frost while they just kind of baked in the sun. And we have this really good old chicken manure in the garden. So, I don't know, I've just been coming out here each morning when I know it's going to be extra hot and dry to give them some water, and that's all I'm doing. But look at these guys. Don't go in the pool. It's not time yet. Stay out. Aren't they wonderful? Look at how tall they are. So, I'd like to figure out some kind of way to mulch them because weeding is like a full-time job that I don't have time for, and I pull a few here and there in the morning, but as you can see, it's overtaken. So my thoughts are to put something like cardboard down to kill the weeds with mulch on top of it in these pads in between. And we did chicken wire on each of the boxes to keep the chickens out, but that isn't what I want to do long term. I don't want my boxes fenced like this. My plan is, you see that fence along the back wall? I would like to continue that fence just to make a big old rectangle around my entire garden so that it could just have a little gate type opening that I come in, and then the whole big thing will be fenced instead of these little individual boxes. And I just love how God supplies things, even little things like fencing, because our friend had a roll of fencing and just dropped it off to us. And it is just the same. Let me walk over here and show you. Look at that. It's just the same as that fence along the edge that I was hoping for. Isn't that cool? So we have chard here, Swiss chard and some kale. And there's zucchinis in the back and a couple of random snow peas there and one random cucumber. I don't know what happened to all the rest, but I planted these just last weekend because when I first bought plants, they didn't have any peppers, and we like sweet peppers, so I planted those peppers and basil, and back here is some more zucchini. I was a little late getting it in, but better late than never. Okay, then we have our tomatoes. I'm going to water while I talk to you. And then the kids wanted to plant corn, and so to make the corn not just a wasted space, just in case those raccoons would come and get it all, that would be sad. But someone told me that you can grow your climbing green beans right up the corn stalk. So that's what those vines are. That's what we did. When the corn was about 2 inches high, we planted 2 green bean seeds next to each stalk. And we're going to let those climb up and see how this goes. But they're looking good. At least I think so. And then this is just kind of our leftover spring salad bed, which was lettuce and spinach. No, those are beets right there. And a little bit more lettuce, and then back on this end was radishes. So, and that's some kind of random weed that needs to come out of there. But we ate off that quite a bit, so that's pretty cool. And that little thing right there in the middle of the weeds is the boys' garden. They've planted a few things in that. We need to get them to pull the weeds that are creeping into their garden. And the girls planted too. I'll show you theirs. So this is the girls' garden. They put in some flower plants that we got off the clearance rack at Walmart for this bed. And they have some, Bella planted this half up one day. Corn and lettuce, and you can see she took some of the snow pea peas and planted them in the back too. And then over here, this is all wildflowers. All wildflowers in there. What are you doing? Swimming in a pool with no water in it? So it will be so pretty when it's all flowering, won't it, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
They even, you can see right there a little fern. They dug that up and brought that back when they went on a hike down to our creek. So sweet. We are making a bed to plant sweet potatoes. So our neighbor, I don't know if you saw in another one of my videos, you talked about, or you heard me talk about that we found out an organic farmer has a farm very close to us. Well, he came over and introduced himself. And then we went down to see his farm, although it was rainy, so we only were there a couple minutes. But anyway, he offered us some of his sweet potato slips, his little plants, so that we could plant sweet potatoes. So that's what we're doing right now. We put some paper down to kill the grass, and we're putting this wonderful dirt that we had still from the chicken coop area from long ago. We're mounding that up to plant those. So that's what's happening here. We've never done this before, but hey, we're gonna give it a shot. And then we also are laying down, I put black plastic for a weed barrier, and then we are mulching in between all of these beds. Isn't this exciting? I took off the chicken wire. That one still has to go. Because we're actually gonna put fencing up around the entire garden instead of all these little individual gardens. So that's the excitement that's happening this evening. Big progress. Well, right here is going to be, we're going to make an opening, and one day we'll put a little gate on it, but right now you'll just move aside the fencing to get in. But
We're on wire it.
it's going to be pretty wonderful. Okay. So there's our little mound of sweet potatoes. We'll see how they do.
Let's